Good evening, everyone. I don't want us to waste too much time. As promised, we are starting at 5:30 Nigerian time and 7:30 East African time. So I welcome you all to our July edition of Be Globally Relevant. And in this July's edition, our topic of discussion is just a minute, please. All right. So I welcome you all to our July edition of the Global Village webinar. And our July edition topic will be thriving in a globalized world, strategies for staying globally relevant. As we all know, the world is more connected than ever and creating opportunities. Sorry, I'm trying to admit people in. The world is more connected than ever and creating opportunities that go beyond borders. And our topic, like I said earlier, our topic for today is thriving in a globalized world, strategies for creating staying globally relevant. And this topic will explore how individuals can develop the skills, mindset, and adaptability needed to succeed in today's global landscape. And our guest speaker for today is Professor Damilola Agbalajobi. And I welcome you, ma. Thank you very much for being part of our webinar today. Thank you very much, ma. So Professor Damilola Agbalajobi is a scholar whose research focuses on gender, politics, and urban governance, particularly women's political participation in sub-Saharan Africa. Her work examines the barriers to women's political inclusions and promotes gender responsive policies for inclusive governance. And she's the first female professor of political science at Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Nigeria. Our session today will be in two parts. The first part of the session, our professor, she will take us through the topic. And the second part of the session will be for questions and answer. So thank you very much, Ma. So over to you, Ma.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I hope I'm very clear.
Yeah, good evening, Ma. You are very clear, Ma.
Okay, good evening, everyone. It's a big honor to be here to speak about the global village, thriving in a globalized world, strategies for staying globally relevant. This is a very timely topic. And the central idea is future-proof yourself. The need for us to future-proof ourselves. However, I want to start with a story. And the story is the village boy and the global marketplace. So imagine a young man sitting under a mango tree in a village in Kwara State, where I grew up. 20 years ago, his opportunities were likely defined by the boundaries of that village. For example, in Tanka in Ilorin, and in Karen in Nairobi. The people he could serve lived nearby. The jobs he could get were nearby. The knowledge he could access was limited to the books and people around him. Today, Another young man sits under that same mango tree, still in Tanke in Ilorin, or in Karen in Nairobi, or in Accra in Ghana. But today, there's a difference. He has a smartphone. He has internet connectivity. And so before lunchtime, he has watched a lecture from Harvard or Princeton or Oxford. He has collaborated on a project with somebody in India or in Singapore. He has sold a graphic design service to a client in Canada. He has also applied for a scholarship in Germany. Same village, but different world. So the difference is not location. The difference is relevance. Same village, different world. The difference is not location. The difference is relevance. So before now, that village boy is what ended where the village did. But suddenly things have changed. So what do we have? We have entered an age in which your postcode matters less than your skill sets. Your passport matters than your mindset. Matter less than your mindset. Your location matter less than the value you can create, because the world has become a global village. And so the question is no longer whether globalization exists. The question is, how do we thrive in it? Because before, globalization once determined your opportunity. Now, what determines it is relevance. The world has changed from geography determining opportunities to relevance determining opportunities. And so, we are living through one of the most significant shifts in human history, where the future will not belong to those with the most qualification and experience. It will belong to those who can adapt, who can embrace change, who can learn continuously, who can leverage technology, who can remain relevant in an increasingly global and AI-driven world. That is the people who the future belongs to. And what actually happened? The pandemic changed where we work. Because the world we knew 5 years ago no longer exists. Almost overnight. The assumptions that we held for centuries, everything collapsed. Because what do we see today? Schools have moved online. Businesses have gone remote. Meetings have become virtual. So you can meet with anybody, anywhere, from anywhere in the world. Even healthcare has become digital. Offices says have become optional. Well, what is bound borderless is talent. Talent has become borderless. And so companies realize what could happen from anywhere. And so what does that mean? Hiring people could happen anywhere. So it doesn't matter where you are. You can be hired from anywhere. And so the world has changed, and we all know. And the world is still changing. So what is the guiding question for us? What if the greatest threat to your future isn't the lack of opportunities, but preparing for a world that no longer exists? Is that what we're still doing? Then AI changed how we work after COVID-19. AI today answers very complex questions in seconds. Helps you to draft your emails, present your reports and presentations, helps you analyze millions of data, write codes, helps you review CVs, screen jobs and applications. It helps you to translate languages and generate ideas. It automates anything repetitively. That is what AI do. And that's just the beginning. We have not yet seen the full impact of AI. The full impact we have on education, we have not seen on careers, on businesses, on leadership and society. We have not seen. So you need to ask yourself, if nothing about you, about your skill change over the next 5 years, will you still be competitive? Will you still be relevant? And what does this mean? We have the playing field has expanded. Your opportunities are no longer limited by your location. Someone halfway across the world could hire you right where you are in your room. They can fund you or build with you tomorrow, because technology and globalization have made the world more connected than ever before. And you guys are doing that. A lot of you are already doing that. Your opportunities, again, I said, are no longer limited by your location. So because today you can work remotely for organizations across the world, you can study from your room at global best competitive university, from Harvard, from Princeton, from Harvard, from MIT, from anywhere, from LSE, anywhere you can imagine. You can access scholarships and fellowships. You can build businesses, and international customers will be your clients. You can collaborate with people you've never met in person. You can learn from world-class experts without leaving the comfort of your home. And what does this tell us? The world is filled with opportunities. You can have internship, remote jobs, exchange, different kind of fellowships. You can have different kind of research collaborations, the creator economy. And all this is being powered by AI. AI-powered ventures all over the world. You can have professional communities coming together. And so, what is this telling us? The world is not short of opportunities at all. The world is not short of opportunities. The challenge is, today is no longer lack of opportunities. But what is the challenge? It is awareness, it is preparation, and it is positioning. How aware are we of what is happening? It is happening fast. We are still millions of years behind. You cannot apply for what you never knew existed. There are some fellowship. I went for a fellowship last year, two years ago to last year. I never heard about it before then, until a colleague shared it with me. Most opportunities are lost before they are ever seen, because you don't even know about them. How do you want to prepare for that? So awareness, preparation. What does that mean? Readiness is built before the door opens. Because the reason why we talk about experiences, getting yourself ready, because the day the opportunity comes, it's not the day you prepare. You have prepared yourself before the door opens, not after. The prepared move while others are still deciding. And then positioning. Opportunities rarely find people who are invisible. Being good is not the same as being findable. Are you ready? Are you prepared? And so the question is, what does it mean for us to future-proof ourselves in a world that refuses to stand still? How do you make sure you don't get left behind? However, there's what carrying home that we need to understand. The future requires curiosity beyond skill. How curious are we? How curious are we? How are we thinking globally? Yes, staying rooted locally, because we need to be relevant here, but it needs to be global in our thoughts. Are we thinking beyond institutions? And do we know that collaboration is a new infrastructure for knowledge? Because we can't do it alone. And do you know that global cities are built by bridge builders, not by those comfortable in silos? We need to be bridge builders. Because what is built locally can have global impact. And that is the only way we can transcend boundaries. Are we trying to ensure that what we are doing, that's what we call localization. Are we trying to ensure that what we are doing can have global impact? And so, one of the greatest things that can help us is to be curious. Because one of the things you need to know is that curiosity outlives competence. Because you need to understand that skills have a shelf life, but curiosity does not. Because skills, as things are unfolding, as technology is evolving, new things are coming. So your skill you have today, the skill you have today is outdated in the next minute. But curiosity outlives competence. Skills have a shelf life. The half-life of a technical skill keeps shrinking. But the habit of asking better questions compounds for lifetime. Because the more questions you ask, the more you see you need to know more. A skill answers, how do I do this? What do I need to know? But it expires when the tools change. We need to keep learning. We need to keep learning. We need to keep on learning. We need to keep relearning. Because curiosity we ask, what else is possible beyond what is happening now? Because your degree should never be the last time you learn. Because your degree could be outdated. But learning to know more, asking questions will help. And so in doing this, we have ways of future-proofing ourselves. And there are 3 pillars that can help us. In intentionally preparing ourselves for a world that will keep changing. And one of the things we need to do is adaptability. We need to learn to adapt fast. And I know a lot of young guys are adapting very, very well. Adapt very, very fast. Because we can't afford to fear changes. We need to learn to move with the change. We need to learn to move with it. Learn to move with it. If you are rigid, what will happen is you will break. But when you are flexible, you bend and continue to move with the change. And so we need to be adaptable. And then we need to learn to continue to learn, to relearn, to unlearn. We need to relearn the things we have learned before. We need to unlearn the old things that does not help us move forward. And we need to relearn and unlearn many things. So we need to build that habit. Keep learning. Whatever skills that will help you. Guys are sitting in their home and making billions. That's people working in offices, going to 6 to 7 cannot earn. We need to unlearn the old ways. So we need to treat every certainty as provisional. What happens? This could change. So when it changes, a friend of mine told me she works in the UK. She said she does contract job because she knows that she keeps learning, because after she does this one, she needs to update her skills. That's the only thing she does, and she's able to take care of herself. She has bought mortgage, have her houses. All she does is keep learning because she's into IT. And another thing is resilience. Every technological shift creates uncertainty. So if you are not resilient, you get tired. You get tired out. So it's only those who thrive that will keep growing despite the setback, because there will be setbacks sometimes. But resilience is what keeps you on, moving on, and will not let you get tired. And so to have one of the things that can give us a durable advantage is a skill that outlasts the trends. So you think you need to ask yourself, which of the skills that you have can outlast the trend? Which of the skills you have will still valuable when today's technology becomes tomorrow's history? Which of the skills you have? And many soft skills that we don't take cognizance of, especially young people. A lot of us, even adults, many people, many soft skills we don't take for. See, we are computer guru, we have all the skills, but there are so many soft skills apart from all the new age technology that we take for granted. Yes, we have ability to think critically, very important, because those are the things that outlast the trends. Critical thinking, having to collaborate, cultural intelligence, because there's a lot of culture shock for some people when they get to some places and they find it difficult to adapt. Problem solving skills. Within a second, you're able to think, how do I solve this problem? Ability to create. Creativity is a very important skill. Leadership skills. Ability to communicate your ideas, solutions, emotional intelligence, diligence, and AI literacy. And major and very important is integrity. Integrity, honesty, hard work. These are soft skills that outlast all these other skills that we don't take for granted. Let me tell you something. They employ 2 young people. Both of them are in computer guru. They all have the brain. Let me tell you what will make one person stay in that company or last longer. Hard work, integrity, diligence, that many people tend to take for granted. Because your ability to work with technology will always be trying to compete against it. Yes, you work with it. But even when you're able to work with it, do you add hard work? Do you add integrity? Do you add diligence to your work? Because those things are what people tend to look for. And so in all these things, we need to ask. And we need to know that. Or ask ourselves questions. AI will not replace everybody. It's not possible. That's the truth. We are scared that AI will replace everybody, but it will not. But the question you need to ask yourself is, will someone who knows how to use AI replace someone who doesn't? And that's one of the greatest questions, because some people will just sit down now where you are and create something with AI, and they will be making millions, and they will be the one people are looking for. Because many people are just afraid AI will replace them. But a better response is to learn how to use it and use it ethically. Because you need to put it to work. You need to use it to brainstorm and pressure test ideas. It's so easy. These things that we are talking about now, they've been using it in the developed world. Writing research as professors, use it to review thousands of journal articles. Instead of you sitting there, imagine you have to read 100, 2,000 articles. Imagine how long that will take you. But you have an app that could help you review, synthesize it, and produce a synopsis that can help you, give you a basic understanding of what you can imagine how fast that could go. So how do you brainstorm ideas with AI? Because it's useful. That's one of the things it's used for. How do you use it to improve your writing, sharpen your writing skills? How do you use it to learn new concepts quickly? Because imagine, the other day my daughter said, Mommy, I think I need to read more. I said, I want to be spending some hours every weekend to read. I've not read everything about architecture. I want to learn more, and I want to sit down every weekend and spend some hours. But how much can she read if she has only a few hours with all the work she does? So imagine she uses AI to synthesize a couple of ideas together. That will make it faster. Summarize books and articles. It can even help you rehearse for interviews. It just makes it easy. And analyze data and build decks. And so with AI, you can create presentation. All this, what we need to do, all this helps to increase our productivity. But one thing we need to know is that we are not saying if you allow AI to do the thinking for you. No. AI is not supposed to do the thinking for you. What is AI supposed to do? Use AI to help you think better, learn faster, and work smarter. And in doing this, you are thinking globally and staying rooted. Because with your thinking, you're able to provide solutions to problems within your locality. And then you offer something for that service you're providing within your locality. And so how can your African identity, one of the greatest questions we need to ask is this: how can my African identity become my greatest competitive advantage in a global world? Just a few days ago, a young lady was telling us how she went for Microsoft, and she was saying she had gone to school in different parts. She had schooled in Nigeria, she had schooled in Netherlands, I think. She had lived in US and UK, and she was saying they wanted to employ her in Microsoft. And she was saying, my advantage is that I've lived in these different 4 places. So you're actually employing 4 persons in one. So imagine as an African, you are being called for an interview in a multinational organization. How can your African identity become your greatest competitive advantage in a globalized world? Because being globally relevant does not mean becoming someone else. No. Because your greatest advantage may be your unique perspective you are bringing on board to that organization. Bring African ideas into your global conversations, which is very important. We shouldn't look down on our experiences, our own story, our own unique identity. And solving problems with global standards in mind, solving our local problems. We need to carry our ideas outward, bring African thinking into the global room. We don't need to wait for an invitation. Bring our ideas into it. And then ensure we are solving problems locally. Solving the problems in front of you. And create a standard to become a best practice. And become scalable across board. And of course, we need to understand that we need to treat authenticity as an asset. Your context, your environment, your history. Those are your own credentials. They're not obstacle. I feel as a Nigerian, I am already challenged. There's so many unique identities that we carry. And all we need to do is position ourselves for those opportunities that is ahead of us. And of course, we need to also think beyond our institutions, because knowledge no longer lives inside walls. Knowledge travels through people. Because in the old model, the old school, we say our institutions define our ceiling, where we study, who employed us, which room we are able to see, which room admits us. But today, the need infrastructure is collaboration. Collaboration is how knowledge now moves. Different networks, communities, and partnerships, they carry ideas. And they carry ideas further and faster than any single organization can ever do. And so how do we do this? We then need to build our collaboration, build professional brands. Position ourselves, share our work consistently. We intentionally network and create our portfolio. Even me, I find it difficult. But imagine when you see somebody who does something, create a portfolio that is, it's impressive to people to behold, attract people. We join global networks. You are here in Nigeria, but you belong to different networks. And those networks, they share opportunities every day, which is very, very important. And so, as global citizens, we need to make ourselves visible, because visibility is what creates opportunities. We need to make ourselves visible. We need to develop a future-proof mindset. where as global citizens are not, because global citizens are not built by people who are comfortable in their silos. Global citizens are the ones that are built by bridge builders. And as I said, we make ourselves findable. And imagine that the right opportunity comes to you, looking for you today. Will he be able to find you? If you are invisible, how the opportunity find you? It's not possible. And so we do that by, as I said, build that our professional brand. You should be known for something specific. You should be known for something specific. It's important. What does your hand find to do? What will they search you when they search you online or whatever, they name you? What will they see of you? Are you building the right relationships? Because you can't ever tell who that link is going to be to your breakthrough, to that great job you want. Do you consistently share what you do? Let somebody knows. What are you doing with your hands, with your skills? Does anybody else know about it? And you need to also share it in public, not only in private. For some of us who are public shy. But the world is no longer going to be very receptive to some of us who are public shy, because we're in a global space. Are we in those rooms where news travel? Are we joining those global communities, those associations, those networks, those organizations? Does your portfolio speak for itself? Do you take time to apply for those opportunities? Because some of us, we just see them and let them pass. We don't take time to apply. But it will come to us like that. And in doing this, your personal future-proof plan, you need to prepare that. And as we want to fit into the global world, we need to prepare ourselves for the future-proof plan, personal plan. And we need to do this by taking some decisions. 6 decisions, I think, that you need to make specific and make them even before the end of this week. 1 new skill that you need to learn. What new skill do you think, as an architect, as a communicator, as a journalist, as a freelance, whatever you do, what 1 new skill can make you that person? The artist, the dancer, the writer, the scholar. What 1 new skill do you need? Maybe you're a writer. What 1 relationship do you need to build? What 1 person is going to be that network you need? Which AI tool do you need to master? That if you know this, they'll be thinking you're a witch or a wizard. And people will be getting jobs and they won't know that you are using AI. It's helping you. You are bringing it out in a way that people can't imagine. Turning things around. Which 1 project do you need to launch that in the next 10 years, you'll be wondering, how did this happen? What 1 habit is a stopper that you need to remove from your life that is an impediment to your greatness? And what 1 way do you need to go that is going to make you visible professionally? These are personal future-proof plans that you need to take into consideration and put them down and think, how do I go about this? That will definitely make me be ready for what is going to happen in the global space. Having said this, I started with a story. But we need to think again. 5 years from now, will you be the leading future or trying to catch up with it? Will you be leading the future or try to catch up with it? Remember, we had same village, but we have different world. What does that tell us? The future is not waiting for anyone. The only question is whether you will change with it. Because the question is not whether the world will continue to change. The world will continue to change. Change is constant. The question is, will you change with it? Because the global village involves people who are prepared. We have said it all. People are adaptable. People are visible. People are committed to lifelong learning. And so basically, what do you want to do? You want to future-proof yourself. Not because you can predict the future, but because you can prepare for that future. And as I said in the beginning, the world has changed from geography determining opportunities to relevance determining opportunities. Globalization has changed the rules. Technology has collapsed the distance. Remember, we can be having lectures. Right now, some people are watching, listening from anywhere in the world. It can be from Australia, from Singapore. And that means there's technological transfer across the globe. Ideas are flowing. Jobs are being created. There's competition. Now they are global. And so these opportunities are global. The opportunities also means that when these opportunities are global, that means the competition is also global. So that means that you're no longer competing with that boy in Ilorin, in Kwara, in Tanke, or in Nairobi, in Accra, Ghana. So that means, imagine when you see scholarship for 1,000, you see scholarship, that scholarship is maybe just for just 2 people. Do you know how many people are applying for it? As you are applying for it in Lagos, in Accra, in Ghana, in Nairobi, there's also somebody applying for it in the US, from Australia. What does that tell you? You are competing with talented people from India, from Kenya, from Brazil, from Philippines, from Australia, and beyond. What does that tell you? That means that is why it's not because you are not good. When you say you have applied for scholarship, incidentally, my daughter just applied for a scholarship too, and they keep applying. It means that you are competing with people from the global space. So what does that mean? You need to think about the strategy for you to stay on top. And that is lifelong learning. Digital literacy, we can't play with it. And unfortunately, the world we have is not prepared for it at all. The domains, they are not domiciled within our vicinity, but despite our challenge, we need to keep learning. We need to understand the skills, have those skills, all the cultural intelligence we need, the networking, because the future belongs to global-minded citizens. And what is this saying? Every one of us, we have what it takes if we thrive within the globalized world and adopt all the strategies that have been said this evening, so that we can favorably compete with the global space. And one of that skill set that we need is curiosity. What's next? What can be done? What is the solution to this problem? How can I be a bridge builder? Because the bridge builders are the connectors. And they are the ones who become the savior of the world. And that's one of the messages I want to leave with you. The global village. How do we thrive in this world? What are the strategies we need to stay globally relevant? And as I said again, The world is no longer the same as it used to be when we were growing up. It tells me that there is nothing your art is set to do that you cannot achieve. Yes, the competition is stiff because the opportunities are there, but the people there competing for that opportunity, there are many. But let me tell you something. It's not your background. It's not where your mother gave birth to you. It's not even the university you went to. I've seen people graduate from Obafemi Awolowo University in the Department of Education who have become pilots. What does that tell you? She went beyond the institution that brought her undergraduate degrees. Yes, OAU education. Imagine you think education, but today is a pilot, a woman for that matter. It's not the school. It's not the parents that gave birth to you. It is you. How do you want to use the opportunities that you have at your disposal? And so I just want to say that it's the same village, different world. But I want to ask is, are you willing to change with it? 5 years from now, will you be leading the future? Thank you very much. Thank you. I've finished speaking.
Thank you very much, Ma, for this session. I think the admin has left the group due to it's now on now.
I'm so sorry for the internet glitch. I just joined back now. Thank you very much, Ma. I really appreciate your wonderful presentation, and that was very insightful. Now will be open floor for questions. You can unmute your mic or you drop the questions on the chat box.
All right. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and thank you, Ma, for the lecture or seminar. All right. My question is that as a global citizen, how do we ensure that we really have this right connection? Because you said something the other time about knowledge that knowledge has passed the four walls of school. It passes through people. So how do we ensure that we still have this right connection within where we are and with the people we have access to? Thank you.
I think I would like to answer the question one after the other so I don't forget. And so I think the best way we can get the right connection is dependent on what we are doing and where we are. Irrespective of where we are, there are people who are skilled in whatever. We have a goal. Right? Everybody has a goal, I'm sure. Everybody has a goal to where they want to become, what they want to become. There are people you are looking up to that you think, oh, I want to be like this person, or I wish I can have the opportunity to serve under this person, to be like a light or a guide to direct my path. And one of the best way we can do that is volunteering. I know that many times you say, many organizations ask you experience, and you say, okay, how do I get experience? I don't even have the opportunity to serve. one of the greatest things that happens in the developer is volunteering. Volunteering comes with a cost. How do I get the money to even fund me to go to those places or to learn under this person? There are sacrifices we need to make sometimes to connect to people who can be the direct link to where we are going. It might not, it definitely does not come easy. But when we prepare ourselves, either through volunteering and trying to get close, sometimes you just see it's life. There will be people who will reject you, even when you are not asking for anything. All you want to do is understudy them or just be close to see what they are doing. How do I connect? And then later become a part. I've seen lecturers, because I'm an academic, so that my own major examples I give within around my own space, who have been the one who have led their students, giving them opportunity to travel abroad because of the fact that those students were serving. Oh, let me review this, let me mark this script, let me write this. And before you know it, oh, I have an opportunity. A colleague of mine is asking for somebody who is doing this or engineering or biometry or something. And say, okay, I want to recommend you. Because network is also very important. So whatever field you are, whatever you're doing, there are people within those spaces whom you have looked up to, who you believe can help you. You can volunteer to serve under them or understudy them. One way or the other, they'll become a light through which guides you to the path you're going to. It's not that easy. I'm not saying everybody you go to, they will not be receptive. But those are the challenges. But gradually, opportunities begin to, so any opportunity you see to serve, you need to take it. Because the world is opportunity to do it, and you cannot tell. Don't look down on anyone. It's important. With even people around us, one of the greatest that I talked about soft skill, integrity, diligence. Sometimes we tend to look, pride, humility is very, very important. People, sometimes we have all the skills. You don't understand that sometimes people look at you and say, this person has this skill, but I don't like the person. He's proud, and I can't work with this person. And that's why we need to be humble. When we are learning, let me tell you something, the pride will come tomorrow. But when we are learning, we must be ready to receive all the insults, so-called insults, and be humble to be receptive. It will go a long way to help us so that we can connect the people that matters, and they will get, and by the time we get up there, and then whatever we want to do, we do at that time. I hope that answers your question.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma. So you can also drop your questions in the chat box, or you unmute your mic and go ahead with your questions. Okay, Ma, my question is this, Ma. How can people leverage digital platforms to showcase their expertise to a global audience, Ma?
A lot of people are already doing that. Today, we have so many platforms. You guys know them. We have LinkedIn, we have X, we have Facebook. A lot of you guys are already doing that. I see a lot of people post their things on. I don't know how to post, but I know my sister does. I know some of my younger ones who does. Some of my mentees do that. Just this evening, before I started this webinar, somebody I did something just last week to some of my students, and I didn't post it. But somebody posted it on LinkedIn. And this is something, it was just an idea that came through a class. I was just in a class and that idea came to my mind. But somebody posted it, and I'm already thinking about, okay, I'm going to take this thing beyond this. It's not going to be a one and for all thing. And I don't know how far that thing can go. So you have the platforms, the social media platform, through which you can see, just even if it's just a paragraph, a sentence about what you do. Somebody someday will need it and ask you, oh, I think I'd come across somebody that does this thing. Whatever you are doing, say something about it. Nobody can say it the way you will say it. Your own story, nobody can tell your story the way you will tell it. And I think you have all the platforms. I don't think it's just put it there. Let the world see it. I see a lot of young people. I teach young people. So I see a lot of people put so many things out there that they do. You have the ability to do. You have the platforms already. And incidentally, we are where everybody have their phones. You have TikTok, you have link, you have the platforms already. So it's not like if the platforms are not there for you. But are you using the platform the way you want to use it, that you should use it? So I can sell you and tell your story for you and sell what you are selling. There's something, we all have something you are selling. Me, I'm selling my skills. I've never done, ever since I started lecturing. The only thing that gives me my dollar or my pounds or my naira is my skills, my teaching, my whatever I do with my skills. I've not sold any other thing. This is what I do. And so it's there through my articles, through my journals, through my blogs, through my interviews. They're there. So you also, whatever you are doing, are you good in research? Are you good in writing? Are you good in drawing? Are you good in doing designs? Are you good in writing reports, blogs, journaling? Whatever you're good in doing, there are people looking for somebody who is good. So you put it out there in a sentence, every day, every week. Change the narrative, put it in another way, recreate the story about yourself, make it, change it, turn it around again, tweak it, put it there again. Before you know it, somebody will pick it up. Write it in a way that people can pick the skills you are good in, and tell them you have integrity. Let them test you. Tell them you are resilient. Tell them you are hardworking. Those things sells. Let me tell you something. The skill they can employ you. But can you last there? They are so very important. Let them know that they can test you and you can prove them right. Do you understand? All the answers your question.
Yes, ma. Thank you very much, ma. Okay, please. We have 8 minutes left. You can also entertain just one question before we round up the program. You can just drop your question in the chat box or unmute your mic and go ahead with the question. Anybody? Okay. Since there are no questions, on behalf of the Global Village team, LinguaVille, I want to sincerely appreciate our guest speaker, Professor Damilola Agbalajobi. Thank you very much, ma, for generously sharing your knowledge and experience and those practical insights. We really appreciate, ma. Your contributions have inspired us, and I want to believe they've also equipped us with valuable strategies. And I hope every one of us here present today will at least make use of them as we continue with our journey in life.
Yeah, thank you very much, everyone. I wish you a very great future. I know you guys will be greater than me, greater than us, and I look forward to seeing you at the top. Congratulations. I see you some other time. Thank you.
Sorry, ma. Please, just a question just came in now. I don't know if you can quickly read.
Okay. What's the question?
Okay, the question is, what common mistakes do people make when trying to build an international profile, and how can they avoid them?
I think one of the mistakes, we are in a hurry. A lot of us are in a hurry. We need to take when greatness comes in the tickle in. I'm not saying you guys should not be great. Definitely, I know that all of you will be greater than me, because the desire of any great person is to see the children be greater. That's my joy, and but we need to learn that we need to take things little by little, step by step, and not be in a hurry. It's obvious that we're in a hurry, especially for gains, it backfires. And when people see that we are more for the gain than this, than what it requires. It gives us a way, and they won't look at us as somebody who has integrity. And so as we are trying to build those networks, let's show that we are committed. Let's show our resilience is important, so that we don't see us as people who are just after the gain and not ready to pay the price. It will come. Eventually the greatness will come, but let's take it easy and take our time to build our skill set. Build it, keep building it. The reward will come. There's nobody. Hard work pays. Hard work and commitment pays. It's very, very important. Try to be, yes, I think it's very important. And I had networking. Okay, somebody said, how do we filter? I hope that answers that question. Another question is, how do we filter noise in an age where we have access to so much information? Ability to decipher the one that is right is very, very important. There are too many. Where in the age of, it's not the lack of information we have now. There's so much, but which one is right for us? It's not every information. Let me tell you something. In the age of AI, everybody and anything can write anything. And so a lot of things, sometimes I just laugh. Somebody who is not married is giving you advice for marriage or relationship. Somebody who doesn't know anything about IT is telling you what to do. He has never done an interview before. He has never gotten a scholarship. A lot of information are out there. His ability to sit down and look at it. Even when I'm buying things, you can buy something from Temu and buy the right thing, but you check the reviews. How many people bought this shoe and it's good? But when you don't check the review, you go and get something that is like a TV, and they give you a miniature of something. So ability to pick the right information is what we need to learn. How do we decipher that this information is the right one that we need? Who is giving that information? Does the person has the experience that qualifies him to give you that advice that we are taking? These are key things, because the information is already there, some overload of information. But is it the right information for me? Do I need this? How will this impact on me positively? How will this help me to move on? I hope that answers the question. And you know that in the international world, a lot of, especially for those of us for Nigeria and Africa, we have a negative impression already. And so when you are working with them, you have to be extra careful. Integrity. Let me tell you the truth. The world is open for us. The open space for us to excel. But people are careful. And one of the reasons why we lose international collaboration is lack of integrity. When they see you don't have integrity, they won't call back. They will keep quiet. They will do as if they didn't see. But let me tell you something. 1 naira can make you lose a multi-million-dollar collaboration. 1 naira. So there's anything that will make our integrity to be tainted. Timeliness also. A lot of us will look at African time has become a menace, a very terrible thing. Those things are important. You have a meeting with an international collaborator. The meeting is supposed to be 10 a.m. You should be online 10 minutes, 15 minutes before the time. They don't play with time. They shows how serious you are. They are monitoring. They are seeing. They are taking notes, because they know that somebody who can keep the time is going to have integrity. Those are the things they monitor. They told you to do something for 10 naira. You did it for 5 naira. You are not reporting back. You report back to the letter. If they tell you take the remaining change, it's better for you than they say you never reported it back because you wanted to keep the change. Even if they don't tell you to keep the change, revert to the letter. Keep records. Let them see that you have integrity. We don't. Many of us, we don't. We have lost important collaboration because of our lack of integrity, because of our timeliness, because what we call African time is terrible. It's lack of it's Iwa omoluabi means I don't know how to say it in English.